Well, my name is Mick Doyle. I was born and reared in Gorey. I've never left it and I don't intend to leave it. But I'm going to reminisce tonight about the May Bush during our childhood. For years we had the tradition in the street where we were reared in Clooneen, which is only 100 yards away from here, of a beautiful May bush, and it took about a week for the preparations to be made. The older fellas from the street were sent out to find the skeoch thorn. Now the skeoch thorn would be only coming into leaf at the time. There'd be no flower. The flower comes much later in the month. So it had to be decorated. And in those days the decorations were simple. You had eggshells, posies, primroses, cowslips, bits of rhododendron and an awful lot of crepe paper. Now some of the ladies were very good at making roses and flowers from the crepe paper. But you also had the little cross and blackwell jar, what I always called the forerunner to pate. It was a chicken and ham paste, and there was a little band put around that, and the cowslips and primroses would be stacked in it, and then on several more there'd be little stubs of candles put down in them, and the candles would be lit to give you the light around the May bush. Now, as Seamus will know, we lived in Clooneen and the light was in our garden. So everything happened outside of our house because it was where the street light was. And the May bush would always be held there. Now we had a resident musician, the late John Joe Kennedy, and he played the accordion. He'd play half the night. But there was only one drawback with John Joe. The May Queen always had to be Bridget, his daughter. Since her daddy was the musician, she always had to be the May Queen. But then we didn't have, at that stage, we didn't have bonfires at our May bush. We had a very simple semi-religious festival for the month of May. But then as the years rolled on, a new generation came along and the May bush had to have a bonfire. Now a bonfire was grand when it was a small, simple bonfire. But in latter years, the death knell of the May bush was when the Gardaí and the firefighters were beaten away from the bonfire with stones and sticks by the young people of our town because they wanted to have a tremendous bonfire after gathering rubbish and dirt of every description for a month before the May bush. The sandhole in the Garden City was one of the prime places, and before Shaughnaburn Park was built, what we always called Chucky's was another favourite place for the May bush and the bonfire. But the May bush in my day was a simple affair. It was a beautiful street festival, a nice little parade up and down the street, and a nice bit of music and singing and dancing. And that to me was the proper May bush. Thank you.
Well done, Mick. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, well done. I wanted to hear. I mean, it's
Lovely.
Seamus and I were out across the street.